So the Dutch government is up against some huge social challenges, everything from healthcare to the climate crisis. And their answer? It's a pretty big shift, moving to data-driven policy. But how do you actually take a bold vision like that and turn it into something that creates real value? We're going to break this down from two perspectives. First, the strategic why from a policy director, and then the technical how from a data architect. So let's start with that big vision. Look, the starting point for this whole transformation is actually pretty simple. The Netherlands is facing enormous social issues. We're talking healthcare, climate, public safety. The complexity is just off the charts. And our old ways of working, they just aren't cutting it anymore. We absolutely need a smarter, more data-informed way to tackle these problems. And hey, that's not just my opinion. This is a direct quote from the National Dutch Digitalization Strategy. And what it signals is a huge shift in mindset. We've talked about these goals for years, but now there's real political and administrative will to get it done. The time for just talking about it for non-committal approaches, well, that's officially over. So what is the big vision here? We like to call it the Digital Huis van Thorbecke, which is inspired by our foundational state structure. The goal is pretty straightforward. Break down the digital walls that exist between ministries, provinces, and local governments. Because for citizens, right, there's only one government. Our digital systems have to start reflecting that reality, letting us share data responsibly and create policies that actually make sense together. Okay, so that's the high-level strategy. But what does it actually mean for the civil servants, the people on the front lines doing the work every day? To make this real, let's meet two personas that we've developed for the year 2025. Iris, a council researcher, and Igon, a youth care worker. So in our vision for 2025, someone like Iris, who works with at-risk youth, is using a predictive algorithm. It helps her identify the most effective interventions, which means lower recidivism and a lower workload for her. At the same time, you've got Igon, the youth care worker. She's equipped with something we call a social watch. This little device automates all that tedious admin work and even has safety features, which frees her up to focus on what really truly matters, giving empathetic support to families. And here's how that actually works for Iris. It's brilliant. A new case comes in, instantly her system compares the key details against a huge database of hundreds of past cases. It then shows her the most similar cases, what interventions were used, and, here's the key, their success rates. Now, this doesn't replace her professional judgment, it supercharges it. It lets her make a better, evidence-based decision, and a whole lot faster. And this isn't just some theory we cooked up. The pilot programs that have used this model, called the data-driven trajectory, have already led to a 20% reduction in kids reoffending and coming back into the system. This is it. This is the real-world value we're talking about. Better outcomes for citizens and a way more effective government. So here's the crucial point. The vision is powerful, no doubt. The results are promising. But it all comes down to one critical question. How do we build the technical backbone to support people like Iris and Igon, while at the same time guaranteeing the absolute highest standards of security and privacy for sensitive citizen data? For that, I'm going to hand you over to our data architect. Exactly. That's where I come in. My job is to build the engine that makes that whole vision run. The challenge isn't just about letting people use data. It's about governing it properly. We need a system that gives civil servants the freedom to innovate, but within centralized guardrails that make sure every single piece of data is handled securely and ethically. It's a really delicate balance between empowerment and control. Our foundation for all of this is a proven framework, the Tableau governance model. As you can see, it's a continuous cycle. On the left side in green, that's where we manage the raw data itself. We're talking quality, security, and preparation. Then, on the right in blue, we manage the content that gets created from that data, validating it, certifying it, and making sure it's used the right way. This whole disciplined process ensures that when someone like Iris logs in, she's working from a single, trusted source of truth. Let's dig into the tools a little bit. Two key components here are Tableau Prep and Tableau Server. The easiest way to think about it is this. Prep is like the kitchen, where the data gets prepared. It pulls in information from all these different, often messy, government databases, cleans it all up, and combines it into one reliable dataset. Then Tableau Server, well, that's the secure dining room where certified users like Iris can come in and analyze that clean, trusted data. And security is just built in at every single step. We're not talking about just a single firewall here. It's a multi-layered approach. We integrate with existing authentication systems like Active Directory. All the data is encrypted, both when it's moving across the network and when it's just sitting on a server. We can even apply row-level security, which means a youth worker in Amsterdam can only see data for their specific region. And crucially, everything is logged. There are complete audit trails for full accountability. But here's the thing, tools are only half the story. The best technology in the world is pretty useless without skilled people who know how to use it. That's why we're so focused on fostering what we call digital Vakmanschap, or digital craftsmanship. This is all about training people like Iris and Igone not just to use the tools, but to really question the data, to interpret the results critically, and to navigate all the ethical questions that come with their work. And that really brings us to the future. It's not just about my strategy, and it's not just about the architect's technology. Real transformation only happens where those two things meet culture. We have to accelerate this integration of all three, strategy, tech, and culture, to make our 2025 vision a reality. This timeline really sums up our entire journey. We are moving away from that fragmented, non-committal past. The Dutch digitalization strategy, the NDS, that's our engine to speed up and standardize our approach. And the destination? A government that is truly data-driven by 2025, creating real, tangible value for our society. When it all comes down to it, it boils down to this simple but really profound definition. Data-driven work isn't about letting algorithms make decisions for us. It's about using facts that we gather as data and analyze into insights, to empower our public servants to make the most informed, most effective decisions they possibly can. That's how we deliver higher value. So, integrating strategy, secure technology, and human skill, that sets the path forward. But it leaves all of us with one final and pretty crucial question. Are we, as a society and as a government, ready not just to use data, but to actually be led by the facts it reveals?